All right, so we talked a little bit about Star Wars Celebration 3. Another Ted Cruz moment there. And that was like my first kind of introduction to the fact that there was something called a Star Wars Celebration. Um, but then I was kind of determined. I wanted to go to the Star Wars. This is a big freaking celebration for Star Wars nerds. I want to do that. They were having it in L.A., not Anaheim. Anaheim was the actual LA. It was at the LA Convention Center. In fact, right outside the convention center was the Staples Center, um, which probably a lot more people are going to be familiar with the Staples Center because they have all those sports things there. I'm not a sports guy. I mean, I don't hate sports or anything, but I had my day with sports when I was into that kind of thing. It's just not now. So if I speak about it a little bit, kind of in a distance from it, if you will, that's why. Anyways, uh, so so it was close enough because at the time I was living in Eureka, California, as opposed to where I live now, which is 88 miles north, as the signs dictate. If you're driving down there, it's 88 miles between cities here or there, depending on where you are and when you read the sign, I guess. Um, so it was close enough that I was going to be able to get down there and actually see it and do these things. But it was far enough that I didn't want to drive down there. So I flew down there. It was one of my first times flying. It was definitely my first time flying as an adult. Um, Not my first time flying ever. First time flying as an adult and by myself and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't, like a huge thing. Like, oh my gosh, this momentous part of my life or something. But it's just kind of random trivia, I guess. But I mean, it was part of why this was like kind of a big thing. I was flying down there. It was my first time flying by myself. First time flying as an adult, and doing all this for this Star Wars thing. And like I said, I could have driven down there. In fact, I drove for the last one, which is even farther, because Anaheim, I believe, is a little bit south of LA. At least that's what everybody was saying. And I'm a little bit further north, so even more of a drive. But I didn't feel like driving this last one. Maybe I was having car troubles or something like that, so I didn't drive to the LA one. Um, Sorry. All that soda, a little gas. Uh, so Star Wars Celebration 4. So I went down there, right? I flew down there. I got a hotel. I didn't know what the heck was going on with that. I just got what they call a reserve line at my bank, so I had like $1,000 reserve line, which is I didn't get for this. It was part of the thing that I got as part of my account. Period. It came with it. I got down there. I got my hotel. I booked my hotel for I think it was 7 nights, and it was something like 100 and something, like $120 or something like that. And it said on a thing discounts because you're part of the convention. I'm like, discounts, 120 for 7 nights. Holy crap, that is awesome. That was like the awesomest. So I get down there. It's this thing called like the Tohi Hotel or something. It was like this Japanese thing. It was an awesome hotel. I mean, it wasn't a particularly impressive room. It was a nice room. Um, had like microwave, fridge, and all that stuff, but you can get it like a you know $60 to $80 room, really. But I mean, it was this really big, impressive looking hotel. I had this like Japanese garden thing I never saw. I mean, I was staying there, but because I was staying there with a discount, I never really felt like I was able to like enjoy the whole thing. It's like kind of like you're the poor people. You don't get to go with these people who are just staying here full price because they can afford it and they can go see this stuff. So you kind of have a little bit of that poor shame kind of feel to the whole. They didn't do it to me. It was just it's just how I felt about it. Anyways, but the point is, I got there and it's like, oh, it's a 700 something. I'm like, say what? Like, yeah, it's 100 something per night. Like, it didn't even say anything about it. Didn't give me a total. It just said, oh, $120. Give us $120. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I get there, it's like minus that 120 because I already paid them. And then now for the rest of them, I'm like, son of a, holy crap. So it's a good thing I had that reserve line because I was wiped at that point. And yet, despite that, I still enjoyed the heck out of it. The biggest problem with any of the celebrations, and this has nothing to do with the celebrations themselves, was no sleep. Because taking time off of work is kind of a pain in the butt. Any other places I worked, it's not like I had like a year of vacation a vacation that I've been there over a year, and so I could just take 7 days off or whatever. And even then, you're still kind of in a rush because you want to enjoy yourself as much as you can on your days off, and you don't want to spend it traveling. Especially with a limited budget. What are you going to do anyways? Stop at another place, spend another almost $100 just to not drive that whole time. And I was flying, of course, most of the time, but that means you get up early and you go and leave early and all that kind of stuff. But, so sleep deprived has always been kind of my problem at those things, but it's never stopped me from having fun. And I think the Celebration 4 was like the most fun I had at any of them. I think it was not necessarily put on the best. I think the next one, the fifth one, Celebration 5, was the best one I ever attended as far as the celebration itself, how it was handled, and all that. I think the fifth one was probably the best. They had the best people there as far as who was invited to be a part of the celebration. I don't mean celebrity-wise. I just mean like, for example, that's where we had Echo Station from G4, which of course G4 doesn't exist anymore. Or, as far as I know, it doesn't exist because I was looking it up, a couple of years ago. It says G4 doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks, but okay. I really like G4. I could never watch it because first we had it for a little while, and I could watch it, and then we didn't have it. The cable provider just didn't have that station anymore, so I wasn't able to see it anymore, which sucked because I really like G4. At least the Attack of the Show, and that was like the one thing I always watched like religiously. And then there was like the X Play, I think, and I watched it every once in a while. And there's just a handful of other things every once, but just the concept was cool. But they had Echo Station there, which was awesome. They had the Old Republic, which was coming out, and we got free T-shirts for that. I think last time they gave them out for this new one, Battlefront, I think is what it is, Battlefront. Anyway, so they got some Battlefront shirts. So I mean, they did that again, which is cool. But I mean, it was just a culmination of all these really cool things, and a lot of the free things you got for going around were better than. It was just, I think they did that one right, and the lines weren't as big of a problem. They weren't as well. They were just as long, but they didn't last as long. It's like you didn't get in line until almost the last couple minute, and so you could actually go from one place to another, and it was somewhere between a half hour and an hour, and actually get into it, even if it was a big event, for the most part. But it was either that one or the next one. They had like a Princess Leia on, but then you had to pay like an extra $60 to see it. So I thought that was kind of stupid. And then the next one they had Kevin Smith, which Kevin Smith is a huge Star Wars fan. I get it, but I'm not going to pay like however much just to see him talk at a Star Wars thing. He's not Star Wars. I get that he's a fan. I get that he's a movie maker. I get these connections. I get why people would want to see him and see him talk about Star Wars and stuff. But I wasn't going to pay extra for it, and I didn't really much care for it. So, and then I don't have a problem with Kevin Smith at all. It's not that. It's just he's not so special on my, Star Wars itinerary that I'm going to pay extra money to see him there. Anyways. So, but I still think overall the Star Wars Celebration 5 was kind of the best handled one. And this last one I thought was the worst. It was just terrible. The Star Wars store ran out. Like, I wasn't able to be there the first day when everybody did the thing and J.J. Abrams came and all that stuff in the morning, which was really stupid. Because they just killed the whole reason for being there in like the first hour, and then what's the point of the rest? You go there, you buy a lightsaber, you go home, and you're done. You were completely done, pretty much. I mean, there's a few other things, and I enjoyed them, but I mean, I went and saw Mark Hamill, because you don't get to see Mark Hamill. It's not like Mark Hamill does this all the time, and you just see him. I mean, celebrations he does, but it's not like Tuesday I can go and see Mark Hamill. So I went and saw him in James Arnold Taylor's show, which I was really hoping he'd do something different this time than he did last time. I mean, I still liked it. It was still a good show, but I was kind of hoping it would updated and be a lot different. You know what I mean? Evolved. It was pretty much the same, which is still enjoyable, but a little disappointing in that fact. Instead of watching the premiere, which I would have liked to do. I wanted to see that premiere for the Season 2 of Rebels, but you couldn't do them both, which is just dumb. And then the argument's like, well, we need to divide the people so we don't have everybody doing this and everybody doing that. Why? If you can't, if you're having a problem with that, set it up differently. Make so that everybody can do what they want, not just a few people. So that was stupid, and I didn't like that. But the fact of the matter is, and the lines, just everything was dumb. Personally, I think you should every day be able to get tickets to all the events you want to go to. If you want to go see, not you don't pay ahead of time because that's just, well, what if they don't show up for the thing or whatever? Then you just got an empty seat and stuff just because an idiot didn't go, and then we can't give it to somebody else because now it's too late. No, every day in the morning, you line up for these different events, and you go and you can get a ticket and all this stuff for all the things you want to do before the convention even officially opens. You just have these people sitting there, they're handing out tickets. There's 2,000 seats here, 2,000 people come in, and you get a ticket for that. 2,000 people come and get the ticket for that, or whatever. We all can stand in line and do all the crap that we have to at the beginning of the convention, and then when you actually open the convention, we don't have to say, oh, I can't do that. I got to wait in line for 5 hours for that. You just can go because you've already got your ticket. Assigned seating or not assigned seating, I don't care about that crap. That would be kind of nice, but who cares? You know what I mean? So, and then at the last minute, like it's 10 minutes to show, and it says on a ticket, if you haven't got your seat and turn in your ticket in like 10 minutes before the show time, you lose your place, basically. So you could stand in like an auxiliary line, but they won't have more than like, say, 50 people. No more than 50 people in this line because there's no way more than 50 people. And if they do, well, then we'll call in some more people. And then you have the event and like 10, well, let's just say 2. Let's say 2, 2 minutes before the event. And they'll say, okay, well, we have, 10 more seats. 10 people did not show up. And you don't get to come in late. It's like a play. You don't get to come in late. Your seats are gone at that point. And we just let in 10 more people. 10 people didn't have to wait. Well, they didn't have to wait. And that's right. But the problem is people did wait in line, and then they just decided not to show up. Well, that's not the convention's fault that these people waited in line to get these tickets and decided not to show up. Or some bad thing could have happened. It's like, well, we couldn't show up. Okay, that's totally cool, man. That happens. Anyways, I'm going totally off on this whole ticket thing. It's just always, but that's like the worst thing about all these things. I know it's a convention standard, but it does not have to be. There are other ways to handle this. But overall, it was a pretty good. It's a pretty good thing. I'm going to talk a little bit about fan community and getting together with Star Wars fans and all that stuff on the next video, which is really going to be mostly about that and internet based, not really the celebrations themselves. I really just want to talk about experience with the celebrations specifically. So we'll end this and we'll move on to the next video.